And the sugar dragon comes out and is constantly trying to like blur that fire and be like, go eat that food.
There's this theory that our gut, or this gut area, was our first brain that we lived from.
Today is the last day that you ever say that you have endometriosis. Your body is healing.
Lebst du schon, wer du wirklich bist? Willkommen zu The True Me Podcast. Wir sprechen hier über alles, was dich aus dem Gefühl der Überforderung und des Feststeckens zu einer klaren Vision und Aligned Action bringt. Mein Name ist Tiffany und ich begleite dich auf deiner Reise zu deinem True Me, denn dort wartet Freiheit, Leichtigkeit und Erfüllung auf dich. Welcome, my loves, to another episode of the To Me podcast. And as you can hear, I'm again speaking English and I'm again in a beautiful podcast studio in Dubai. So currently I'm in Dubai and the universe sent me a person for a topic that you were asking me for a long time to bring on here, because I know a lot of you struggle with that. Also me. I will also get into my personal struggles with it. Although I think there's sometimes a lot of shame with that topic on it. And I just can say that this person, her name like describes her. Her name is Joy. And when you meet her, it's like this energy bomb coming onto you. And I love that you will just get to know her. So Joy is a holistic health coach and she's a gut health expert. And I struggled so much with my gut health. I have to say, I didn't know I'm struggling with my gut health. It took me a long time to realize it's my gut health. So we will talk a lot about that today. And she's a biohacker, so she's obsessed with everything around health, about toxin-free. So welcome to the To Me podcast. Joy, I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you. That was such a lovely intro. And I do feel like I'm an energy bomb sometimes. It's like I say you've just like entered my like energy tornado vortex. And I'm like, whoosh. You either love it or you don't. Some people run away and others are like, give me some of that energy. So thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm so excited. So before we start, you wanted to do something before we start.
I did. Before I get started kind of with any coaching, any podcasting, any like deep meetings, I love to take a little squirt. It's a little hit of something called the Arc Drops. Now this is a company that is also by my business partner. That they have ceremonial grade cacao. They have those nose strips to help you breathe better. But these drops are going to feel like you're taking a cup of coffee. All it is a little bit of peppermint essential oil for natural energy and some MCT. And what I want you to do is I'm going to squirt it under your tongue.
Yeah.
And then let's just take a deep breath. Just ground in some of our energy. Yeah. I need that also.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll feel a little bit more alert.
It was a busy week. So on my tongue or under my tongue? Okay.
There we go. Okay. So, we just swallow it under our tongue. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of swallow it down. And then just sit there and just breathe it in. Big breath in through your nose.
Wow, it's strong.
Ooh, and this is the...
Oi.
Right? Yeah. Breathe in through your nose. It's like that, like head of, woo. Yeah, there you go. Now we're ready for this podcast.
Can record.
We are ready to go.
We can record now. We can record. Okay.
Thanks for doing that.
All right, Joy. Before we get into all this expert knowledge you have and all of these tips we have and all of the stories, I would like to invite you as Joy first here in this podcast. So who is Joy? Like, who is maybe Joy also outside of all of this health stuff? And maybe why did maybe also little or younger Joy get into that field?
Awesome question. All right, well, let's take it back to growing up on a small farm in New Hampshire, which is about an hour outside of Boston. My mom is a homeopathic doctor. She's an herbalist, a naturopath, very crafty. I mean, she's like the American version of Barbara O'Neill. She has been talking about these biohacks for 50 years, right? Like she's 72. She still lives on the farm. She has a dairy cow. She makes all of her own like soaps and lotions and milk and whatever. So growing up, I had that kind of a role model where she fixed her patients with herbs and homeopathy and essential oils. And so I loved that. But at the same time, as a kid, when your mom is that healthy, you want to rebel and like go on the opposite side. Yeah. And so I started like sneaking candy. I started, I was down the sugar addict path for sure. And I'll never forget that I would get candy from the store, bring it home, hide it in my room. And my little sisters would go into my room when I was, not there, find my candy, and then it would be this big fight, right? So I had both sides, right? And it was, fair enough, right? My mom did the best that she could to guide us. And I can't imagine the fights that we probably got in at the grocery stores when your kid sees the sugary cereal and the Nutella and all of those bling bling marketed products. And you have to,
everyone is eating, right?
Everybody,
why are we not eating it?
All the
Everyone's
kids at school ate
Yeah.
it. Like we grew up with this thing called a Lunchable, and it was these cute little snack packs, fully chemicals, like just all chemicals. And my mother would never let us bring that home, but she probably had to fight me and say no and deal with me crying. And we didn't have iPads to distract us back then, right? So, on the other side, moms now have it equally as hard because there's so much processed food and sugar on the market.
Yeah.
So growing up again, kind of having these like both sides. I played sports my whole life. We grew up on a horse farm, so I was very active. I got into playing collegiate level lacrosse. Do you guys have that sport in Germany?
I don't think so, but
Okay.
I know it from like
American
American
Pie.
movies.
Yeah, exactly. American Pie. So it's a sport here, and you like shoot the stick, the ball in the net. And so I was playing sports my whole life, and I was very active, but I had this sugar addiction. And so fast forward a little bit, I graduated uni, I backpacked through Europe and Asia. I was like into climbing mountains and just, I walked across Spain doing the Camino de Santiago.
Yeah, sure.
Okay,
sure.
amazing. I did Everest Base Camp. I did Kilimanjaro. It was all these like cool things. And then I found CrossFit. And CrossFit was kind of like this point of really changing the how like one thing comes into your life and it changes the whole trajectory of your future.
Yeah.
And that's what CrossFit did for me, because I was able to get a coaching job, and I was living in Korea at the time.
Wow.
I was living in Seoul for 2 years. I started off as a teacher, and I left as a full-time CrossFit coach. I started coaching on the military base, which was super. This was, back in the day when people are like, what's CrossFit? So it was still very new, but it gave me the path as a bigger, stronger female to start doing competitions, start coaching globally, and then start, leading a lot of people down this educational path. And so what happened next? I was competing, but I still had this sugar addiction. And so I was constantly battling, like I wasn't obese, but I was hypoglycemic. And that means...
How do you feel that if you are that?
You feel hangry all the time. You feel like the food controls your life.
Okay. Yeah.
That it's constantly like you're thinking about your next meal while you're eating your first meal.
That's so interesting, because I only know that as like emotional eating or like as an eating disorder, because I had binge eating since I was a child. I was also hiding candy, but like from a eating, hiding,
interesting.
shameful part.
Okay.
And I never heard like it's because of a sugar addiction, right?
Yeah. It's a sugar addiction and it's a hormonal imbalance because your blood sugar spikes up and then it crashes. And when you crash, you crave more sugar. And then it starts playing tricks with your brain.
Yeah.
So it could just start off as something emotional, but then it becomes hormonal. And then it's that horrible repetitive cycle of emotions, hormones. And so even today, like I know what I'm doing and it still is sometimes a battle. So, I don't know that we ever really cure ourselves of this, but there are definitely tools in place that I will totally share with you. But back to what it feels like, because I think that a lot of people that are going to be listening to this and talking to you is that that hangry feeling is not cute and it's not normal. It is a blaring red flag. The shakiness, I had to like carry snacks with me everywhere I went because I was too afraid of being somewhere without food around. I was always like, you'd always find me at the buffet. It was like just food, all that food. And I think from what I've heard about Mounjaro and Ozempic is that it quiets that noise.
I know, like that food noise, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's all the time. Yeah, and that's what you have when you have binge eating. I was all the time. I was planning. Yeah, it's.
So we call that the sugar dragon, and the sugar dragon comes out and is constantly trying to like blare that fire and be like, go eat that food. Yeah. And we need to learn how to tame the sugar dragon.
Yeah.
And that's when I finally found gut health as being and fasting protocols. But if I wanted to lose weight and feel better, and my mom has been telling me this for years, but like, you just don't want to listen sometimes.
You don't do what your mom says. Yeah.
What does she know? And so I was competing and I was like trying to out-train my bad diet of sugar and also synthetic proteins, like all the protein powders and the fake processed protein drink, whatever. And that's how I got into gut health.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I only knew that as like a eating disorder. And also when I first heard about that food noise, I couldn't believe that some people don't have it. So I was like, how would my life have been if I wouldn't have that food noise? Because if I had especially one friend, she was like, since I remember an intuitive eater, like she never was on a diet, she never did, she never did, and I could never understand it. And I tried one time to explain to her how it feels. And I was like, imagine that everything you do, or no matter how great the weather is, there's like a gray thing above it, like a gray filter. So if you think about going out to eat, you're like, oh, what if I eat too much? Or if you're coming home, you're battling that you're not eating this, or you try on clothes and you're like, wow, I'm too fat. So everything is like, there's this gray thing, this dragging feeling. Or if you think about, oh yeah, I'm going on holiday in 2 weeks, and you feel like, oh, what I'm going to eat, how I'm going to look. So everything is dragged down, I think it's so important to talk about these things. Okay, it's mentally, but it's also your brain. It's an addiction, right?
And you're not crazy.
Yeah.
You're not crazy.
And
there are tools.
Yeah. And especially, it's like not a lack of discipline.
Yes.
I always thought I'm fat, I'm lazy, and I'm not disciplined enough.
Yeah. No. And that's what, but it's also not our fault because the food industry is $1 billion industry because they're trying to get us hooked.
Course.
Everything has some kind of chemical or toxin or phthalate or additive sugars that are making us addicted to the food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally.
And so again, it goes down to education, but if we look at this generation or the newer generation of these kids, the ADHD levels that are going through the roof. Right? Because now the kids, and it's like, the parents, and I talk to this with my clients. I'm like, look you're a mother. You have the 100% responsibility of building your kid's gut microbiome for his future.
Yeah.
So the struggle. That feeling. Do you want that passed down to your kid? No.
Yeah.
But then why are you feeding him Gatorade and chips and all this other stuff that's only going to make him more addictive?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's sad.
I think the first question, what I think is really interesting, is what are typical foods that maybe when someone starts this journey, you think they're healthy, but they're not? Because I remember what you said now, okay, this high protein stuff. So what are like typical things where you say like, it's not healthy?
The number one thing, oatmeal. Oh my gosh. Okay. I don't know when oatmeal got such like a health food rap, but like there's 3 reasons why I don't recommend oats.
Yeah.
Number 1, heavily sprayed in glyphosate. Now, glyphosate is the chemical that is in Roundup, which they spray over all of our crops. Okay, so they're just dousing all of our crops with this chemical. Now, glyphosate hit the market around the late 1980s, so 1989. Since then, the rise of dementia, diabetes, leukemia, everything, the rise of diseases started when this chemical hit our food crops. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, they have something called a phytic acid. And this is an anti-nutrient. And what happens is as we eat these foods with anti-nutrients, they strip our body of the minerals that we actually need. Okay. And then number 3 is they spike your glucose levels. So for those 3 reasons, I tell people, look, I say, I still love to bake with my oats. I love those little protein balls. I love my protein pancakes and my protein muffins. But also when CrossFit first got started, they were really big on the paleo diet, right? Mm-hmm. But under paleo, you can have oats. You can have maple syrup and honey and dates and all these natural sugars and sweet potatoes. So I was overcompensating with a lot of these health foods, which still skyrocketed my blood sugar. And that still made that sugar dragon come alive, right? So a lot of these sweeteners can still be healthy. And they are. I would much rather you have maple syrup over white sugar, obviously, but everything is in moderation. So oats, number 1. What else? Let me think about it. But yeah, a lot of those added, the proteins that you were talking about. So processed meats, I love like a charcuterie board. Yeah. But when you have all that sliced ham, all that deli meat, and again, I would rather you eat that than some kind of, potato chip, obviously, right? Yeah. But just because it says 30 grams of protein doesn't mean that your body can digest and recognize it. Yeah. So when you're looking at a weight loss journey or a gut healing journey, okay, you have to it's not only about calories in, calories out anymore, right? Before, back in the day, it was like, eat less, train more, and unfortunately in today's world, it's like, no, you actually have to read the labels and maybe you have to train less, right? Maybe your body is so stressed out that all of those HIIT sessions are actually not doing the benefits that you're hoping it would be. Yeah. How many women do you talk to that are like, I'm doing all the things and I still can't lose this weight? Right? So then it's like we have to reverse engineer and figure it out. So protein powders is a really big one in my world. And unfortunately, a lot of them have all those chemicals and aspartame. And that's ultimately what, started my leaky gut journey. Yeah. So I love finding clean swaps. And I'm a huge proponent on reading and teaching. Let's make that the thing. Yeah. Let's make reading the labels. Like, I want to see everybody at the grocery store flipping it around and like reading the labels. Yeah.
Before we get now into the gut health, how do you find the balance between reading all the labels, between tracking calories, between being healthy, between training and like this, okay, it gets into a disease, right? I mean, there's so many eating disorders, stuff like that, or when you said, okay, you can have everything in moderation. How do you find the balance, and how would you recommend people who want to be more healthy? Because I know it from myself, like you start that and it's like a rabbit hole. At some point you feel like I can't eat anything in this world. Like you feel like everything's more or less unhealthy with toxins, this and that. That didn't help with my eating disorder past. It triggered me even more.
Yep.
So how do you do that with your clients, or how would you recommend someone getting into this journey without it getting bad, right?
Well, first of all, you need to get my book, which I actually left out there.
Yeah,
I
we
need to
show
go.
it-
I
we
need
show
to
it
go
later.
grab that. Yeah, because my goal is to break down gut health and balancing insulin levels in the most basic and simple ways that anybody, because it's a daunting world.
Yeah.
And everybody's throwing information at you, right? This is the era where like education is it is just thrown, and then you don't know who to trust.
Yes.
You don't know who to talk to. And I always say, I'm a big energy person. I know you are too. You might talk to 8 different nutritionists, and we might have 8 different ways of teaching. You have to go with whoever you resonate with. Find the coach that you're going to look up to, because no matter what diet plan you have, the only diet plan that's good is the one that you're going to follow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the supplements. I mean, I see so many people with like cupboards of supplements, and I say the only supplements that are good are the ones you're going to take consistently.
Yeah.
Like they don't do good sitting as dust collectors. I'm like, why do you have all these great vitamins expiring?
Yeah.
Take them, right? So first step is I get people to just increase their protein.
Okay.
So do you want me to go into like what are macros? Do you think that would be beneficial?
Yeah, maybe
Okay.
like a little.
Basics, okay.
Yeah, and also maybe like how it's the easiest way to
Increase
have
protein.
more
Okay.
protein. Yeah.
So macros, for anybody that doesn't know, okay, there's three things in macros: protein, carbs, and fats. Protein, easy. All your meats, eggs, a little bit in cheese, but it's going to be like all your animal sources, okay? Then we have carbs and fats. Now, when one macro goes high, the other has to be low, and vice versa, okay? The problem is that most people these days are on this super high carb processed food diet, when really we need to be the opposite, okay? So my athletes, when I was competing, for sure, I was on high carb. But if we're just trying to maintain, get better gut health, balance our blood sugar levels, feel better, you need to be eating more healthy fats. So the healthy fats, I'm going to quiz you. Give me an example of a good healthy fat.
Avocado.
Great.
Nuts.
Yes.
Oils that are not seed oils.
Yes.
Like olive
Queen.
oil.
Yes, we'll go into that.
things.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Cheeses, some sauces, but yes. So seed oils would be the number one thing that you need to stay away from. Like if there's one thing to take out of your diet, and this is a simple switch, take out the seed oils.
Yeah.
So vegetable oil, canola oil, rapeseed oil, soybeans, sunflower, corn, crap, right? The way that they process it, the way that they're manufacturing it, the way that they're cooking it. You could be eating a healthy salmon salad bowl, but if they cooked that in your seed oils, it's like inflammation straight to your gut. That's how important
crazy.
this is. So good healthy fats, add more of that to your diet. Now the good oils, give me a couple.
Avocado oil.
Yeah.
Olive oil. Black seed oil, but I think you don't cook with
Yeah,
it, right?
no, but that's a good
it's
one
really
for
healthy as a
parasites.
supplement, right? What else is there? Sesame oil, or is it? It's not a seed oil, right?
I like beef tallow.
Beef tallow, yeah.
I love grass-fed butter, ghee.
Ghee, yeah,
Ghee.
yeah.
So those are the ones that we can cook with, and I put that in my coffee sometimes. And then yes, nuts, avocados, see all that. So focus on these. And then the carbs that we should be eating is, I call them nature's carbs, because your body can at least understand it. Like when I say sweet potato, you're like, okay, I know sweet potato. If I said like maltodextrin, blah, 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 right? Like those ingredients that are this long, you can't understand it, right?
Yeah.
So potatoes, love them. Rice, love it. Wild rice in particular. Quinoa, millet, what's buckwheat? Yes, buckwheat. And then all of your root vegetables. Vegetables are great carbs. Turnips, squashes, beets, carrots. Those are good, healthy carbs and fiber. So all we need to do is increase protein. And so, for example, you go out to breakfast, okay? We went out for coffee earlier, and these two girls sitting next to us, they ordered some eggs. Normally at a restaurant, you'll get 2 eggs on a slice of toast.
Yeah.
But there's only 6 grams of protein in 1 egg, okay? So if you're eating 2 eggs on toast, that will probably fill you up. But that's only 12 grams of protein. And I need you, even you're cute and petite, you still need over 100 grams of protein a day.
100 a day?
At minimum.
I'm not getting that at all.
Correct. I don't know any of you listening, but I know that you're all under eating on protein because we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that girl just had 12 grams of protein.
Yeah.
And there's no way, like I need you eating 30 to 40 grams of protein at every meal.
How am I going to do this?
Portions, and then building your metabolism. I find a lot of women are actually under eating. Under eating is not going to be good for your hormones. It's not going to be good for your metabolism. You have to train your body to be hungry, but to also eat within a good eating window.
Yeah.
And so first thing, just focus on, protein at every meal. Like when I open a menu, the first thing I'm going to look at are the protein sources. I'm not going for the dips. I'm not going for the fried food. And I always like to say that, like, once you start on this journey, we're doing an upgrade in life right now, right? We're in this like upgrade girl era.
Yes, we
are.
are.
Hot girl era.
I have a format on Instagram. It's called How to Level Up. So please.
We are leveling up,
We're
okay?
leveling up, yeah.
You also need to level up your taste buds.
What does that mean?
That means like when you start eating cleaner, you're going to crave and you're going to desire higher quality, higher vibrational food.
That's
so I just
true.
got goosebumps talking about that.
I remember a time, it was when I was 18, my mom passed away, and I had a really hard time. I felt into depression, everything. And the last thing I was thinking about was what I'm eating, right? So I only ate shit. Like literally I ate, I think every day McDonald's. I cannot say it any other way. And I remember there was one day where, I don't know what it was, like an apple or anything. I was eating something natural. Literally, I couldn't taste it. Like literally, it was like, it tasted like nothing. Like literally, I'm eating air. So I had it the other way around, like where I was feeling, okay, like my mouth is dead, my taste is dead because I was like crushing it. And on the other hand, now it's like when I'm somewhere in a restaurant and I eat and the food looks good, but sometimes I feel like I want to vomit. Like I'm like I can't eat that. I'm saying like this is bad food, and it looks great, but I can taste it's bad. Yeah. I can taste it's bad quality. It's like the frequency is not the right way. I can't eat that. It's like my body is rejecting it.
Absolutely. I mean, one of my like I've been living overseas for a really long time. And so my parents would always send me care packages. Yeah. And one of the things that I always wanted was Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just like, you taste it and you can taste the chemicals. Yeah. And now like you couldn't even pay me to eat a Reese. Like I love peanut butter, but I want a quality, rich, dark chocolate, like good ingredients. Yeah. And so I'm going to give a shout out to Skinny Eats here in Dubai. Yeah. She makes amazing, like rich, dark chocolate, chemical-free chocolates. Yeah. Nice. So that's where I get my fix. But your taste buds literally will upgrade.
Totally. I was now the first time tasting Dubai chocolate because I was in Dubai and everyone was recommending it.
Very sweet.
Literally, I bite one thing and I couldn't eat it because it was too sweet. I was like, I can't. It was like I couldn't eat it. I was like, if I eat the thing,
you're gonna be sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Okay, I have a recommendation for you for that too.
Okay,
it's called the Keto Reel.
Okay.
And they do all keto Dubai
perfect.
Chocolates.
Great.
So this is a much better alternative for when you're wanting something sweet.
Yeah, I love
but
sweets.
Not like sickening sweet, you know? Yeah. I don't know did you grow up on fast food?
yes and no. So my family in general was quite healthy. So my parents never were drinking. Like my dad is living vegan for a very long time. My dad also was into bodybuilding, all of these stuff.
You have some
So
good role models.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But my mom, on the other hand, she always struggled with binge eating. She was smoking. She was like drinking on an empty stomach, coffee, this and that. So I would say I grew
Saw
up.
both.
Yeah, so I grew up with someone intuitively healthy, because my dad didn't do that under pressure. He just liked it. And on the other hand, like someone with an eating disorder. So I would say I was always in between, but I always understood, or I grew up with understanding what is healthy, what is not healthy. So I knew what are proteins and all of this stuff when I was young, right? I was there. But yeah, it was like more a thing, okay, once every 2 weeks, like as a family thing, we go to McDonald's still.
Yeah.
So it was like,
We did the same.
Yeah.
We grew up super healthy.
yeah,
But I mean, I could not imagine going to a McDonald's.
Yeah.
And people might look at me and be like, oh, of course she doesn't go to McDonald's. But like, you'll get there.
yeah,
It's taken me years to get to this point of training my taste buds, training my metabolism to not want these low vibrational foods.
yeah.
But if you are a frequency and an energy person, you'll understand what I mean by that.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know, like
Yeah.
raise your vibration, you raise the community around you, you raise your
Totally.
food choices,
Yeah.
right?
So
I want to
how
go
do you
back to,
start?
I want to go back to, because you talked about tracking macros.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
So I don't actually want my clients to ever have to track.
yeah.
However, I think that most people don't get the education behind understanding how much protein is actually on their plate. We have no idea.
Yeah.
So using MyFitnessPal as a tool, and I tell my clients this, I said, look, we're going to do this for 2 weeks. I want you to track everything that you can. And it's going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to be a nightmare. Like, it's going to be tedious. You're going to have to plug everything in. You might have to ask ChatGPT. But I need you to be able to look at a plate at the end of our coaching journey and tell me exactly how much protein's on your plate. If that's the one thing that you can take away from our trip together, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that you should use tracking as a tool. Again, why don't they teach this to us in math class? Like, it would be the most fun numbers.
Yeah.
Like, let's try to, I call it hitting the macro lottery. Like, say you needed 1,600 calories.
Yeah.
How close can we get to getting your protein right? Okay. I'm going to throw this out there as well. If you are new to MyFitnessPal, you've just downloaded it for the first time. Okay. I tell my clients, I'm like, get the free version. That's all you need.
Yeah.
They add me as a friend. That way I can look at their food diary from my computer. So I can then see everything that they're eating. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't lie to me, because what's the point of hiring a coach if you're just going to lie to yourself also, right? Like, let's just be honest. Let's get it all on this calculator. And then we can actually see. So when you first download this app, I send them the macros that they need based on my calculations and where I want them. And what you'll notice is that when you go into the pre-programmed design of MyFitnessPal, they will automatically give a new person 50% carbs, 20% protein, and 10% fat. Okay? Which is, or 30 and 20, something crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
The reason this is crazy is because 50% carbohydrate diets are going to lead you to type 2 diabetes. Like, the only person that needs to be eating 50% is a long distance marathon runner.
Yeah.
So I'm like, get rid of that. I'm like, okay, if you're listening to this and you want your macros, I want you to do, same for you, 35% protein, 25, now I'm getting it all wrong in my head. What do we have here? 25% carbs, 35% protein, 40% fat. Okay? So again, 25 carbs, 35 protein, 40% fat.
Yeah.
We just cut that carbs in half as to what MyFitnessPal is literally prescribing new people. To me, this is crazy. It's like they literally want us to be sick.
Yeah.
Right? So does that make sense?
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
Fat goes up, carbs go down, protein is going to basically stay the same.
Yeah.
But we need, for you and the rest of and me, we need to become fat burners. Okay, right now we're probably sugar burners,
Yeah.
meaning that we're using sugar for energy.
Yes.
Carbs turn into sugar,
Yes.
right? Okay, I'm gonna give you a good example. So this is the white girl summer, right? It's like you start your day by drinking an oat milk latte. And then you grab, in Europe, right? You grab a slice of toast, a croissant, we put some butter or some jam on it, and we're out the door. And we go to work, we start our day, but we get to the office and our insulin was going like this, and it's just now started to crash. And as we crash, this is when we get hangry. This is when we get really hungry. This is when we start shaking, getting brain fog, nausea, energy dips. So at that point, we need more sugar. So we grab a banana and another cup of coffee or a matcha. And then it's still like all sugar, right? And so then boom, it goes back up and then you crash. And this is what's happening.
Yeah.
This is the
day,
sugar dragon.
Yeah.
You're doing this blood sugar roller coaster.
Yeah.
So if we can get you stable like this, then you are like free. And so fasting is what has given me food freedom. So at the end of all that sugar dragon, and I'm still going through it, but I now have the tools of understanding my hormones in my body and the tracking the macros and the fasting protocols, that now I can sit back and be like, I can go 72 hours without food and I don't crave sugar. Like I'm going to be fine.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to be burning my fat for energy. Wouldn't that be so cool all day? If I'm like, take this fat, take it.
Yeah.
Burn it for energy, right?
Yeah. Would be great.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Okay, great.
So how do we start? So why do we start with gut health, and how do we start with gut health? So let's pretend I never heard anything about gut health, and you tell me or us why it is important. So, or maybe, maybe let's start with
I'll start there.
Okay.
Okay. A lot of people say your gut's your second brain.
Yeah.
I say it's your first.
Also, from a spiritual perspective.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this.
Okay. So when I got into gut health, I got there because 2 years ago.
You got there.
I got
You
there.
got there, yeah.
I got to gut health. Literally two and a half years ago, because I started to have acne out of nowhere. I mean, I never had, even as a teenager, I never had pimples. I always had perfect skin. And I mean, it was a hard time. Like I was separating. It was like crazy things going on. And it started here, like literally, it was nearly hurting. It was like inflammation things. And of course, the first thing I did was like buying all the skincare and putting it everywhere. It made it worse. And it took me a long time till someone, or I think it was on TikTok, I said, oh, maybe if you have it here, it's hormonal and it's your gut and this and that. And then I tried different supplements. But of course, if you buy any one, I think I bought probiotics, but like any of them. So if it's any of them, they're not high doses enough, they're not working, if your gut can take it, and so on. And then I started to also look into gut health in a spiritual and like a mental view, because I mean, I work mentally with women. So, and first of all, I think it's 80% of serotonin is made there.
I was going to say that 95%.
95? Okay, so serotonin, for these who don't know, it's like our happiness hormone.
Yep.
So if people have depression and no one's looking at the gut, it doesn't make any sense. So also when I'm coaching my clients and they're like feeling really bad, I'm like, how is your diet? What are you doing? I'm not a health coach. I'm not a dietitian, but I know if you're eating like crap, we can make all the mental things. It will not work. Simple as that. I can coach you 3 years. It will not go anywhere. And then I read something like more spiritual, and it was the same thing as you said. So people say that our gut is our second brain because it has this many nerves. So there are actually nerves like in the brain, right? Mm-hmm. But then it said, why is it gut feeling? So there's this theory that our gut, or this gut area, was our first brain that we lived from. So if we had a feeling that was coming up, we followed that.
Really?
And then later, this brain was developed. I mean, I don't know if there's any evidence of that, but from a spiritual level, it's like, that makes sense. So here everything starts. And I mean, it's down at our womb. So our head is like
the antenna.
Yeah.
I say it's the antenna. Yeah. And this is dictating literally everything. Our anxiety, our stress, our emotions, our love, everything. Yeah. On a side note, I love Zach Bush. He has some fabulous podcasts. Yeah. And I was listening to one of his podcasts and he said, there's research being done that if you give someone a 20-second hug before your meals, your digestion improves by over 30%. Okay?
Wow.
So when you hug someone, you release oxytocin.
Yes.
You release dopamine and serotonin, right? And I'm talking about, it's a non-sexual hug of just an embrace that you're holding that you take a full breath together. And then you eat. Imagine. We're always like on the go. The food comes down and it's like we're scarfing it down. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I've gotten better in the habit of doing some like gratitude, over my meals. Yeah. But a 20-second hug or playing with your dog or your cat or just, sending off some oxytocin, right? You can get oxytocin also by gratitude. Right? And that's why the gratitude, fingers, these are my gratitude fingers, sending a message to someone that you love, like, hey, I hope you had a great day, and then start eating your meal.
I mean, back then people were always, or sometimes also praying, right?
You're holding, my family grew up, we held hands, we prayed for the meal, and we've just gotten out of this habit. But they're literally doing research that it can benefit. So if you're struggling with bloating and digestion and heartburn, start with giving someone a hug. The simplest biohack. There you go. Boom. But again, it goes back to literally the gut, right? Yeah. Because again, oxytocin is made up here and then here and then here, right? So I really look at three things as a gut health coach. I look at insulin levels, which we kind of talked about. I look at inflammation and toxicity. Okay. So those are the three the three markers that I really look at. So insulin. Let's get into fasting a little bit. I would love to share some fasting tips because this is what's really changed my life. Okay. So intermittent fasting is a term that's thrown around very loosely, but it's just time restricted eating. You could fast for 12 hours or you could fast for 72 hours. Women have to fast a little bit differently than men, and I'll get into that. But there's two main kinds of fasts. Okay. There's something called an autophagy fast. An autophagy, I call it Botox for your body. It is literally reversing your age. It's reducing inflammation. It is repairing all the cells in your whole body. And all we have to do is just not eat for 17 hours. It's free. Guys, it's free Botox for your entire body. It's like a cellular flush. But that's all we have to do is just sip it, okay? So the things that you can have on an autophagy fast is black coffee, green tea, sparkling water, lemon, apple cider vinegar, basically anything that's not going to spike your insulin or have calories, okay? Now, the other kind of fast is a ketone fast. And both of them are great. I do them at different times. Now, a ketone fast is when you can have a bulletproof coffee or my favorite, it's called a protein coffee, okay? So a protein coffee is when you take a organic, mold-free, low acidic coffee. Mandatory. Stop drinking Dunkin' Donuts, Folgers, all the crap that's out there, okay? Because sorry. That's okay, you good? So look for organic coffee, mix it with a serving of collagen. Now, collagen is protein. Collagen.
Before we met in the cafe, and she was like talking about collagen and like, and like then protein. I was like, oh, so I have to add protein. No, collagen is protein.
Collagen is the protein. Now, different forms, different types, different sources, different forms.
Yeah.
Some of them are just collagen is amazing because it has 2 amino acids called proline and glycine, which are incredible at repairing and healing your gut health.
Yeah.
But collagen is also amazing for hair, skin, and nails. So it's types 1 and type 3. I love a brand called Chief Collagen. Yeah. They're out of Australia. And I've been doing these like collagen coffee glow up events. So I'm like, everybody wants a little glow up, right?
Yeah.
So we talk about fasting, we talk about collagen and blah, blah. So scoop of the collagen, a tablespoon of MCT oil or coconut oil. MCT is a chain of coconut. You know how coconut gets hard in room temperature?
Yeah.
Okay. MCT oil does not. They literally call this brain octane, like brain fuel. So you're getting a little bit of protein, a little bit of fat. You whip that up with like one of those little frothers, you know.
Yeah.
You could even add a serving 5 grams of creatine for extra brain cognition.
Yeah.
And this is like a hormone balancing, fat burning coffee. You've just upgraded your morning routine with a protein coffee.
I need that. Okay, I need
And
all of that.
this would be something that I travel with, honestly, because for me, I love coffee and like you're not going to tell me that I can't have my coffee. So this is like an upgrade for gut health coffee.
Could I, if I don't want to drink coffee in the morning, because for me, I feel like I
Matcha?
get anxiety in the
Totally.
morning. So I only drink hot water with lemon in the morning
Yep.
and then my thing. So I drink coffee only in the afternoon.
In the afternoon? Like
Yeah.
at what time?
Like, let's say I have like my ring that tracks me how long I can
Okay.
take my
Okay, fine.
coffee. So not to, and I'm like, I mean, I drink a coffee latte and even half of it. So I'm not
Okay, fine. I was like,
I'm
not past 2 p.m.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can mix, so they also sell an unflavored.
Okay.
So you can mix it in your water, in your matcha, in your green tea, in a smoothie, in your soup.
anything. Okay.
Anything. And people are like, well, what's the difference between my collagen and my protein powder? Well, very different. Okay. Every protein source has a different makeup of amino acids. So your beef is different than the chicken, which is different than the eggs, different than the collagen, different than the whey. And we need a diversity, right? We
Okay.
need variety. Your gut loves a variety. Like, let's just give it everything to figure out for your gut microbiome.
Yeah.
So I guess we can I'll start with my morning routine. All right.
Please.
This is where you guys can start and you can implement this tomorrow. So I wake up and the first thing I do is I get a tablespoon of coconut oil and I put it in my mouth and all I do is swish it.
Oil pulling. I do that since years. It's the best thing in the world.
Best thing.
I cannot, since I do that, I feel like dirty if I don't.
Me too.
I can't.
It's actually kind of crazy.
The first thing I do when I travel somewhere, either I take it or I buy it on the same day.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Girl, I love it. So it's an old Ayurvedic tradition of pulling toxins out of your gums. It gets rid of like antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial, and coconut's really good for you. So as I'm swishing that in my mouth, I get my kettle going, but I'm also doing a shot of apple cider vinegar. Now, apple cider vinegar is one of the best hacks for burning fat, boosting metabolism, and balancing your blood sugar. All you need is a tablespoon mixed with a little bit of warm water. You need to dilute it.
Yeah.
And boom. Again, digestion improves. Everything improves. So make sure you spit the coconut oil in the trash because you never want to put it down your sink because it hardens. Okay?
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, girl. Oh, your pipes are going to be a mess.
Good, I'm always traveling, right? That's why I didn't know.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
News alert. Never spit it down the sink. Always in the trash. Okay? Because it hardens.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Then I'll do my shot of apple cider vinegar and I will get going with my protein coffee or mushroom coffee, some adaptogen coffee. You know, like they do say wait 90 minutes after you wake up to drink your coffee. Now, I would love it if any of your listeners are wearing a continued glucose monitor and tracking. Like for some people, black coffee in the morning is not going to spike. Other people, it can spike. So we're trying to, play with that and figure that out. But yeah, so those 3 things, that morning routine right there is something that people can implement. And then to get back to fasting, if you're used to eating at 9:30, I'm just going to ask you tomorrow to push it to 10:30 and then 11 and then we get to 12. And we just push it back until you start feeling comfortable with that. Because if you told me, the old Joy, if you told her that you were going to skip a breakfast, I would have said you are crazy. Crazy. I would never skip a breakfast. I would never skip a meal. And now it's just I don't even think about it, right? So first meal is the most important meal of your day. But you've heard the saying that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, right? Okay. You know who said that?
I think it was the founder of cereals, right?
Yes.
Of any cereal, of Kellogg's or
Kellogg's,
anything,
yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes, great. So it was John Kellogg of Kellogg's cereal. He created this $1 billion marketing slogan that was like, breakfast is no, the most important meal is your break fast meal.
Break the fast.
Break the fast.
But it doesn't matter which time, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Right?
Still, you're breaking a fast.
It doesn't matter if it's 8 hours or 72 hours. So the best way to break your fast is with protein, fats, and fiber. Let's just, if you can do that, girls, win the day. Win the day by having protein, fats, and fiber. So this looks like maybe, 3 to 4 eggs, or 2 eggs and some smoked salmon, or some leftover chicken, vegetables cooked in butter, half of an avocado, some paleo sausage, some bacon, whatever. But you don't need the bread. You don't need the cereal.
I love bread.
I know, I do too.
I love bread.
But eat it after.
Yeah.
Eat it later in the day. Like, nourish your body.
Yeah.
And get your blood sugar like this.
Yeah.
If we start like this, you're going to have a crazy day. But if we can start like this, so all I'm asking is meal number 1, okay? Meal number 2, go crazy with some carbs. Eat your carbs in the middle of the day so that your body can burn it off. So people are like, well, when should I eat my second meal? And I say, whenever you're hungry. Sometimes I will have my first meal at 12, but I'm hungry an hour later, and I'll eat my second meal an hour later, and then I'm good until dinner. Whatever. So second meal of the day, protein, carbs, and fiber. So you always want to have fiber at every meal, vegetables or whatever. But if you, again, right, I said fats at the first one and then carbs in the second one. We can't do carbs and fats together, right? We talked about that.
Okay.
One in high, one's to go low, yeah? So, but we look at pizza, right? Like the most glorious food on the globe, and it's like one of the worst combinations to have.
I mean, it's with all the fast food, it's high carbs and high fat, right?
Exactly. That's what tastes so good,
Yeah.
but it's so bad for us, So the hack, though, is you can take your apple cider vinegar in the morning, but you can also take it right before you're going to have a big meal. So when you're about to eat a big carb meal, you're about to have the bread, drink some apple cider vinegar, opt for sourdough. I know Germany loves their sourdough.
Yes.
Girl, go crazy. Protein. I know you guys do some good protein breads and stuff like that over there too.
We also have that, yeah.
But you also have like quality gluten, whereas
true,
other countries, America doesn't. So I would say start with the morning routine. Start getting your body used to fasting. One thing that I'm just going to make real clear is that the week before our periods is the worst time to fast. So like as progesterone is building, as like that week before our cycle, when we just like want to be like, we just want to be nurtured.
Yeah.
We get emotional. I start crying like watching Bambi. Like right? You get emotional. You start craving chocolates. I like want to binge eat on like the day before my period. That's normal.
Yeah.
It's normal. And we need to say hello to progesterone and nurture her a little bit. Now, like it wouldn't be the time to like lift your PR. Like go do a yoga class. Go do some Pilates.
Yeah.
Leave the strength training for that first part, or like once you start bleeding. So then day 1 that you start bleeding, you can pick up your fasting routine. So if you're new to fasting, I would say day 1 to day 7, I would recommend, first of all, everybody be tracking their cycle. Are you tracking?
Of course.
Okay, good. Good.
I'm adjusting to cycle when I have my workshops. I'm doing my training with my cycle. It's actually part of my True program. Like the girls have to, first of all, know all the archetypes of women, and they have to know the 4 phases of cycle, and the goal planning and when they do what is synced to their cycle.
Amazing.
Otherwise, no, we're not men. So we should use that. Yeah.
We are not meant to do a bro split. It's just.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, that is so good. Ladies out there, if you're not learning that, basics.
Yeah.
Why aren't they teaching this to us in school? Like to be more feminine,
We would too much in our power. We would conquer the world. So
Yeah.
that's why we're here.
That is why we're here. So yeah, I would say start with those things and then just nail the basics.
Yes.
And also stack your wins. I think that we're really hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And that, again, like you drank enough water today.
Yeah.
So one of my clients, I know that she's, we're working with a lot of mindset stuff because gut health and weight loss and mindset, right? It's all the way that you speak to yourself is huge.
Of course.
So I said to her, I want you to look in the mirror in the morning. And even if you don't feel it, I want you to say to yourself, I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. I'm beautiful. Write those affirmations down. Write the lot. Like, why am I so beautiful today? Right? And we're doing this accountability thing that she's going to, every time that she has that negative thought, we're trying to rewire her brain.
Yeah.
So every time that she has that negative loop,
Yeah.
I want her to send me a message that says, I'm beautiful. Because not only, this is a trick on the coaching part, because not only is she going to send me a message, but then I'm going to receive the message and be like, I'm beautiful. Right?
That's the greatest thing about being a coach. You always train yourself. I
Yes.
love that. Yeah. Every time I'm answering a question, I'm like, oh yeah, I should remember and implement what I said. Yeah,
That's
that's
a
good.
good hit of dopamine right there. Yeah, I am beautiful. Yes. So I sent her that message this morning. She'll get it when she wakes up. But I'm beautiful. Like, we have to rewire our brains. There was another woman that I met in a parking lot. And, people want to tell you their story. And she said that she's had endometriosis for 5 years. And she's been on all these medications. And what can she do? And I looked at her in the eyes and I said, honey, today is the last day that you ever say that you have endometriosis.
Yeah.
No, girlfriend. Your body is healing. Your body is so beautiful and it's a miracle. Your body can heal from this.
Yes.
But if you tell yourself every day, imagine she's telling me the story, then she's telling the neighbor the story, then she's telling her husband the story. Your body's going to believe it.
It's the identity. And then if it's your identity, it's your truth, right?
Your cells are listening.
Yeah.
So it's not just protein. It's not just calories. It's girls. Speak better to yourself.
Yeah. I ask my community what kind of questions they have for you.
Okay.
I would say we get into these because I think a lot of questions that I would have for you are maybe inside of them, because we talked a lot about food and everything. So I think we should also get into supplements. But I will start with some questions. Maybe we can make like a short thing, because I think we're already nearly 1 hour into the podcast. So let's do like a quick Q&A thing.
Great.
So, okay, it's in German. My brain.
Translate.
Okay. How long does it take to bring your gut health again into balance?
Oh, great question. 24 hours, you can change your gut microbiome. Literally. Fast. Do a 24-hour fast, and that can dramatically change. But I would say if you're really trying to change it fast, also add fermented foods. Eat more sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, kombucha. Get some good, rich probiotics coming from food, and that can change your gut microbiome like that.
Wow. Okay. We had that. It was about nutrition. How can I test how good my gut health is? How do I know if my gut health is good or not?
I ask people to list off their symptoms. If you are dealing with inflammation, bloating, eczema, psoriasis, skin issues, IBS, constipation, let's look at all of your symptoms.
Yeah.
Chances are you have leaky gut.
Yeah.
So first, I want to start people off with letting food be the medicine. Then if the symptoms persist, then look at getting a GI test, a Dutch test, a GI mapping, whatever, like a stool test. But for me, I don't want to, also being like more like budget friendly, I don't want to just like go like tell, yes, I need you to get your blood work done once a year for sure. But if it's just like some minute symptoms or whatever, food first, then we'll start looking at supplements, then we'll start looking at more testing. But I have a 10-day gut cleanse program.
Yeah.
It's one of my best-selling programs. It's a 10-day detox where I talk in detail about all of these different steps.
Yeah.
And within 10 days, people lose anywhere from 2 to 10 pounds. Their skin is completely clear. It is insane the results that I get on this program. So I'd say
I will link that. We will link everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, perfect. We had this. Okay, she was asking what is the if there's one thing, what is the biggest thing which has the biggest effect on your gut health? I think it's fasting, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And eating, like having a low inflammatory diet. So, again, if you're suffering with stuff like this, remove the gluten, remove the dairy, remove the processed foods and the sugars, and don't think about, like, don't in your head be like, oh, I can't eat this. No, let's look at all the things you can eat. All your proteins, all your vegetables, all the good. I mean, again, your taste buds will change. So think of this as an abundance mindset rather than the scarcity, like, oh, I can't eat that.
Yeah.
No, you can. We just have to, again, change the way that we talk about it.
Love it. Okay. Does it make sense to take this probiotic supplements?
Great question. So I think this is another big myth that people think that just by taking a probiotic, they're going to like heal their gut health.
Yeah.
No.
I also thought that, yeah.
We all do. And the supplement industry is the Wild West, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's regulated. Everything's heavily marketed. They put out some flashy things. They sell it on TikTok and all of a sudden probiotics. The problem is that if you do have candida, overgrowth, leaky gut issues, IBS, and you just keep taking a probiotic, you're only feeding the bad bacteria. So that's why first we need to remove.
Yeah.
Then we can replace and re-inoculate. But first we need to remove that bad bacteria.
Yeah.
So this is kind of gross, but like I ask everybody to look at their tongues. If you're waking up and there's that white coat, I look at everybody's tongues and their eyes, you can clearly tell that someone has an imbalance. And so again, if you have candida, which is a yeast overgrowth, and you're just giving probiotics, it's just going to inflame more.
That's insane.
So
that's insane.
My protocol is I do 10 days of a binder, okay? Something like activated charcoal.
Yeah.
10 days as a binder, then I'll do 10 days of a probiotic, and then 10 days of basically nothing.
Okay.
Along with my other supplements, but I would not be taking a probiotic every day.
Okay. That was the question, where to start, what are the basics? We already went into this. Here's a question, if ADHD will change through gut health.
Oh, 1000%.
Yeah, right?
Your foods have a direct correlation on your mood,
Yeah.
on your focus, on your mental clarity. Like, I mean, when I'm fasting, I have so much energy because ketones. So when you eat carbs, it burns glucose.
Yeah.
Fat turns into ketones for energy. And when you're burning ketones, it is that cup of coffee.
I think it feels like real energy because the other one feels like fake energy.
Sustainable
right? Yeah,
energy. Sustainable energy. So yes, your food choices. And like when I'm getting ready for like a big stage or a big conference or workshop, I prep myself. I basically go full keto before to get myself burning fat for energy because I don't want to have any kind of mental brain, time is money.
Yeah.
And I can't afford to be like feeling like crap if I'm trying to perform.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what's the word in English, like these people who eat and they always need to go to toilet, like
IBS. It's IBS. Irritable bowel syndrome.
So, and she said what really helps with it. Is it the same thing or would you treat that differently?
Treat it a little bit differently because they have major food sensitivities. So their supplement protocol might be a little bit different.
Okay.
Food-wise, mostly speaking. However, there's something called a FODMAP diet. Mm-hmm. And a FODMAP diet is a very restrictive 30-day plan. Mm-hmm. And I say that it's short-term sacrifice for long-term gains.
Yes.
But if you've ever had IBS, it is debilitating because you are constantly looking for a toilet. You can't. Yeah. You're literally running from one toilet to the next, waiting in the car. Like, I'll never forget because I went through a little stage of this. And it was like, when is the light going to turn green so that I can just get home and get to a toilet? Yeah. And it's horrible. So again, I'd rather 30 days of sacrifice so that I can live free for the rest of my life. Yeah. Because it's not going to go, if you're not getting to the root, this is the problem with the medical system too. They want to dish out so many pills, but you're only putting a Band-Aid over the symptom. Mm-hmm. We have to get to the root cause of what's going on in order for you to live your best life.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. That's like a little bit off topic, but I will ask you, what can I do if I have constantly like pain in my gut or in my stomach when I'm sleeping, like at night.
Oh, sleeping.
Yeah, at night.
I would look at there's so many questions
Yeah.
to that, right?
Yeah.
Like, is she eating right before she goes to
Yeah.
bed? Is she digesting her food? I would say that one of my favorite supplements is a digestive enzyme, because a lot of the time, even if we're eating healthy,
Yeah.
if our bodies can't break the food down to become bioavailable, that's what makes us feel so bloated in that like pressed out pregnant look, that your body can't break that food. So even if you're eating a steak and potatoes,
Yeah.
if the enzymes aren't there,
Yeah.
then your body can't filter it where it needs to go. And so the food gets stuck. And so getting a good digestive enzyme can be a game changer. I talk about this in my book as well.
Great. Okay. Here someone asked about like the gut and the brain. We already went into that. What would you say about the liver? Because she was saying, okay, how deeply are the gut and liver connected? And if we're working with the gut, should we work with the liver also?
Oh, it's all connected. Colon, liver, I mean, it's all like
Sure.
under one category,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a parasite specialist.
Yeah.
I'm really curious
Yeah.
because this is kind of where the gut health trend is going, right? But there are very specific ways
Yeah.
that we need to be detoxing in an order of
Yeah.
our organs.
Yeah.
Right? We can't just filter out one before doing another,
Yeah.
So for example, like when you're taking charcoal or when you're taking some of these binders, we don't want the toxins going through if the pathways aren't open yet, because then where do the toxins go? So for example, we have our lymphatic system, right? These are all of our our detox pathways. Now, not many people would look at their armpits first thing in the morning, but I know a lot of people are waking up with a puff and not a pit, that they're waking up with swollen glands all the time. Now, this is super important, okay? Because again, this is where our toxins have to get filtered through our body. If these are clogged, then we're gonna have all these issues with our liver. So dry brushing.
I love that. I do it.
One of the best biohacks for your health.
It's so great.
Girls, go out and get a really lovely dry brush. In Dubai, my favorite company is called Sane Experience, Saine. Beautiful European brushes with bristles. And you're just gonna before your shower, dry brush, nothing on it. You're gonna pull the toxin. You're just gonna brush your skin and you pull that into your armpits. But also a lymphatic massage, some tapping, some rebounding, some jumping, all of that stuff is great for opening up your detox pathways and drinking enough water.
Yes, of course. Okay. Here also someone asked about endometriosis. You also already answered that, more or less, I would say. I'm seeing if we had anything. Okay. Someone has Hashimoto. Would you also recommend to work with gut health when it's
that is gut health. Hashimoto's came from the gut. I mean, every autoimmune. This is why gut health is a niche, but it's such a broad niche because colitis, endometriosis, hyperthyroidism, Hashimoto, all of this is under this one big umbrella.
Yeah.
Now, I went to Barbara O'Neill's talk when she was in Dubai, and she said for Hashimoto's to put castor oil on any issues, your
I
gut.
do castor oil packs.
Me too.
I
love them, right? So get a good castor oil pack, but for your thyroid, if you put cayenne pepper, you get the castor oil pack, put a little bit of the castor oil on it, and then sprinkle some cayenne pepper, and then put it over your thyroid. And that is supposed to help. But go to Barbara O'Neill's site, check out what she says also. But that's supposed to be really good for that.
Great. Okay. Here's someone talking about probiotic food. We also talked about that. Okay, maybe now, because there was a lot of questions about supplements and which supplements. I mean, we talked now about the food, about fasting.
Great.
So I think what supplements are really worth it and what supplements should we definitely take?
Okay, so without knowing your blood work, without knowing anything, like my top 5 just generalized supplements, okay? I love collagen, okay? Definitely recommend a collagen. I love fish oil. I think that we need to be lowering inflammation with some good omegas. But if you ever get the fish burps, they're rancid. Okay. That's not a sign that they're good. Okay. Trash that. I also am loving one called Shilajit. I just love the name Shilajit.
Is it this gel?
Yes.
Thing
No, it's like a resin. Okay. And it's disgusting.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
want to
gonna
say,
lie.
is it the
It is
bad one?
disgusting, but it comes from the Himalayan mountains. It's like
I
volcanic,
read about that,
resin. And you put it in your hot water and drink it. The best way to take it is like under like here, but it tastes gross. Like it's gross, but amazing for hormonal balance, libido, energy, all of that. A digestive enzyme for sure. And then the pair would be the charcoal and the probiotic.
Okay.
So those would be my favorite, green tea extract if you want a fat burner, but all of it, once we get your hormones balanced, you're going to be burning fat, right? This is nature's Ozempic. And this is the thing with all these, fat burning things on the market. We want these fast answers and everybody's so lazy. But again, when it comes down to discipline and longevity, we don't know the long-term ramifications on Ozempic and on Mounjaro. And I think that we're abusing it. I think that we're overdosing on it.
Can you explain what these two things are?
So it's actually peptides. And I love peptides. Oh, let's talk about peptides really quick. Fast break.
Okay.
My favorite peptides, especially if you have any kind of injury, is something called BPC 157 paired with TB 500. Okay, these two now peptides are not steroids. They are a group of amino acids that your body naturally produces, and as we get older, collagen is a peptide. Yeah.
Okay.
But these two, BPC and TB 500, you have to inject it.
Okay.
Okay, so it is with a small needle. But if you have any kind of injury, anything, oh my God, it's like the miracle changing. And the craziest part is the FDA took it off the market because it was healing too many people too fast. That's when if the government's not making money, they cancel it. So there are a lot of clinics now, men getting on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, even women, perimenopausal, menopausal women getting on TRT or any kind of, estrogen, progesterone patches. Great. But yeah, Mounjaro and NLP-1 and Ozempic, I think it's a way to lose weight really fast. But the thing is that.
But what is it? It's like a supplement?
No, it's an injection. Okay. It's another injection. And it basically takes away your appetite.
It's what you say with the food noise.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. And it's everywhere. Everybody is taking it. And I'm looking you straight in the face right now. Okay. I want to tell you that if you're trying to get on this health journey, give us 3 months. You can change your body, your metabolism, your mindset, anything. Give us 3 months working with a coach, a mindset coach, a health coach, a coach. Let's give you the accountability that you need to naturally go on this journey, because it's going to be so much more rewarding at the end of the day that you knew that you did this naturally and that you're not, God, universe did not place these fat burners here on us if it was meant to be done naturally, right? So that's what I tell my clients. I'm like, look, give me 3 months. Yeah. If I don't help you in 3 months, cool, go for it. Let's give that a go. Yeah. But let's just, try to do this naturally, work on mindset, and then you can, opt for the synthetic stuff.
Okay. Is there any question that you wished I asked because you think that's something important that should be in this podcast?
Absolutely, girl. I want to mention Soul Sessions.
Please.
Soul Sessions is soulsessions.dubai on Instagram, is a coffee party company that I co-founded with my partner Dina. And we realized that sober wellness events are the new global trend. And as I'm, reaching my older years, it's like, I don't want to drink alcohol.
Yes.
I feel that alcohol is low vibrational. I don't want to be around a boozy community. It's very heavy energy for me. I don't like hangovers and I don't really like late nights. But I still want to party. I still want to dance. We talked about it. Dancing is therapy. It's movement. It's energy flowing. It's connection, and it's community. And so Soul Sessions, we say that we're redefining sober wellness. And when you come to one of our coffee parties, now coffee parties is when like we take over a coffee shop at 11 a.m. on a Sunday.
Oh, that's perfect.
And these DJs take you on a journey. Like you're feeling it, you're moving with it, and like you are connecting with other people.
Yes.
And we started this thing called the Choose Your Vibe wristband. And the reason for that is because a lot of my girlfriends, they were like, we're done with the dating apps. They're like, we're not, we're going to find our man at a wellness event, at a run club, at, a sober party. And so jokingly, I went around to all the guys and I was like, are you single? Are you single? I was like, well, I'm looking for a husband for this one, And I thought, what if we had like name tags? What if we had wristbands? What if we had something to show who was single and who wasn't? So when you come to a soul sessions, you'll get the poster and there's 4 color options. Are you looking for a best friend? Are you looking for a partner? Are you looking to network? Or are you just chilling? And it's just this cute little icebreaker to come in and everybody's wearing different colors of the rainbow. And you can be like, oh yeah, like that guy in the corner, or whatever. Like, I like green because green is the bestie color. And I'm always looking for a cool new friend.
Yeah.
Like we're all expats here in Dubai. I don't have family here, but you've now become my family. You're in my soul tribe, and this is the community. This is the family that we need for more oxytocin.
We need that. Definitely.
So check out coffee parties globally if you're looking for, community and connection and like morning, daytime party vibes.
Yes. I love that. Thank you for mentioning that.
Thank you.
I always have one last question that I ask. So it's called the True Me podcast. So it's about truth, right? Everyone has their own truth, and also the world has a truth. Every country has a truth. It's more like beliefs that are inside of us, right? And some of them are helping and some are not. So what truth you wish that would be normal for people? So what truth you would like to put into this world?
I mean, and we touched a little bit upon it, but I think that the words that you tell yourself become your reality, and that you can manifest your reality by learning to reprogram your thoughts.
I love that. Joy, thank you so much for all your knowledge, for your words, for your energy, how you showed up and how spontaneously you also jumped in, right? Like, I know how busy you are, so thank you for taking the time, for answering the questions. It was an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, and thank you for being that we're now in one energy circle.
Yeah, we are. Love that. Thank you so much. Love you.
Of course. We will link all the things from Joy down there, her book, her coffee parties, everything we mentioned. It was a lot of things, so we will mention for you everything. So we're making sure your gut health will be to the next level. And guys, I need you to do one thing. I see how many people are watching and listening. We can see the numbers, but I don't see as many subscribers. So I'm doing my best, me and my team, to bring the best people here. I'm asking friends. I'm bringing, as you see, experts from all over the world, wherever I am, and to have that even more and to spread more about truth, about health, mentally, physically. Please subscribe on YouTube when you're watching it on YouTube, and when you're listening on Spotify, Apple, whatever, please leave a 5-star review if you think it's worth 5 stars, but I hope so. So 5 would be like really, really amazing. So we can make sure we bring more experts here. We can bring even more quality time, everything here, because we want to make it one of the best personal development podcasts for you. So thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. And we see each other for the next Truth Thursday with a new episode of the True Me podcast. I love and appreciate you. Bye, my loves.